Hi again. This is a quick update of where everything's up to. Lately I've been working on the body. So last we saw I was gluing the top down. I've since taken it out of clamps. I used the drum sander to get the maple as close to level with the walnut as I could, and then used the router table to tidy up the last couple of thousandths of an inch. It was really close and just had to take a hair off and didn't get any tear out or anything, so that's really good. Since then I have also cut the control cavities. They're just standard Les Paul type ones. After I cut the cavities, I made some templates here for cutting the control cover routes as well, so they're just very shallow routes around each where the control covers will sit. They're not based on any, well, I haven't used regular Les Paul cover templates or anything. I just cut a shape that was that would work. So I'm going to have to make covers myself, and I'm thinking I might make the covers out of some of the leftover walnut, so it all matches. If I can manage it, that's what I'll try. Next step is the routing steps for the carve top on the body. I'm going to make some templates to route it away. I'll get to work on those and show you when it's done. What I'm doing here is making templates for the carve top. Now there are 7 of these, all at different sizes, and when I finished with all of them I will put them on one at a time from biggest to smallest, and using my router take very progressively shallower passes all the way up the body. The idea is at the end there'll be a step effect cut out of the maple cap, which will it'll do most of the heavy lifting as far as the carve top goes. So that's the plan. It's pretty common practice for doing a carve top on Les Paul. So yeah, I've got 7 of these to make, and getting through them. They don't have to be perfect. So yeah, I'll keep going with that.
I want to try and give you a better idea of what I was trying to describe before. So, obviously on the left we have the guitar, and on the right we have the 7 carved top templates. So, how I'm going to approach this task is, start off with the biggest one down here, and each of them has holes, screw holes in the top that line up with the screw holes in the guitar. So, starting with that one, I will screw it down, and it will come down out to about here, give or take, all the way around. Then what I will do is, between the edge of the body and the template, I will route most of the maple away, down until the maple remains just slightly thinner than a piece of binding. That'll be the whole way around. Then I'll take that off and screw the next one on. And between the route that I've created and where the next template comes to, I'll route about 1.5 millimeters shallower. And that'll create the step effect, which will be sort of the guides for the carving of the top. So unless I can think of anything else I need to do first, I think that's going to be my next step.
I've been making some good progress on the body, so I thought I'd give you a look at how it's turned out. This is the body with all of the carved top steps routed out. hopefully that gives you a pretty clear picture of what I'm trying to achieve here. From there, I'll be doing a hell of a lot of sanding and scraping to blend all these lines in. But before I can start doing that, I need to take a sliver off the top that's left. It's still fractionally high, so I might take it down about 1.5 mil, not a whole lot. And then it'll be a sort of a matching height of the rest of the steps to start carving it in. To do that, and to do the next step, I've built a little table that I'm quite proud of. I'm going to show you what it is and how it works. So it might be a little tough to see, but this contraption here is made up of 2 table surfaces. There's a base one right down in here that's clamped to the bench, and then there's an inner table here that is hinged from this point back here. There's then this bolt that's fed through the bottom table and through the top one. There's a nut that's epoxied into the hinge table here, and these double nut here acts as sort of a point that I can use to turn the bolt. With a spanner, I can twist this nut like this. I don't know if it's evident, but as I spin this, the inner hinge table is rising up at this top end, adjusting with the spinning nut. The nut that's epoxied into the top table threads round the bolt and is used to very accurately alter the angle that this inner table is set to. The reason for that is I'm going to have to make a few routes to the body a little bit later that need to be at very precise angles. So I set this table to whatever I want it to be at, from perfectly flat up to just over 4 degrees is as high as I can reasonably get it with the with everything where it is. Once I have the table at the height that I want it, I then use double-sided tape to attach the body to the inner table. I then have made this sled that sits on the rails like so and can slide back and forth. The router, with this bit in the middle that has a little guide bit, then sits. The guide sits snugly inside the channel that I've cut. Now it can move from side to side. It can't go far enough as to for the router bit to hit either of the edges. And I have a couple of stops in place up here that stop it sliding far enough to hit the bolt. And it is now free to move all the way across and as far up and down as it needs to go. This is something that in the future can be used for planing things to thickness. It's going to have a lot of potential use later on. I'm pretty pleased with it. So I'm going to use this first of all to cut down the like 1.5 mil off the top of the body. Next thing I'm going to need to do is adjust this table so it sits at about 4 degrees, 4.1 give or take, which will then, I'll cut a plane through the front, maybe third of the body, which will be the angle that the neck will end up joining the body on. But first thing we'll be thinning it down a little bit, so that's my next job. A real quick look at what I've just been doing. The neck angle is routed into the top. The template is stuck on there with double-sided tape. There was a wedge holding it in the back, but that's come off. With that template on there, I have, light's bad, I've routed the neck pocket. It should be a hair undersized, and the tenon a hair oversized, so now it'll be a matter of starting to match those together. Yeah, getting close to becoming a guitar now.